Understanding women's minds is an interesting adventure that makes many people want to learn more about their thoughts and actions. Women's words and actions serve as important clues, so men need to be careful and perceptive, whether they're in understanding women's psychology through everyday conversations or subtle body language. Not only helps you understand them better, but it also helps you make smart decisions in relationships. But not all signals are positive. Some words and actions from women can have big effects on love and life if you ignore them. Today, let's look at 10 things that a woman may say that may make you rethink the relationship and ask yourself if she really values you in it. This isn't just about being self-aware. It's also about making smart decisions about your future. The key is to understand and objectively evaluate the complicated nature of relationships while developing good values within yourself. Make relationships that matter and last. Before we start, I want you to show your support by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Listen all the way to the end, because each point is important and may help you understand things in a new way. First, let's talk about number 1. Her men often struggle with the idea that they should hold back their feelings and not talk too much about their daily lives. This can make them feel pretty lonely, especially when they try to talk to their partners about it and are ignored or brushed off. Sharing personal information is hard. It's like telling someone I trust them with my thoughts and feelings. But when that trust is broken or shifted to something unimportant, it hurts. At last, you're so happy about getting a big promotion at work that you want to tell your partner about it. You're hoping she'll share your excitement, but she'd rather talk about the newest gadget or fashion trend. It's like she's saying, "Let's talk about something I find important instead of your big moment." This kind of imbalance can really mess up a relationship. It seems like the other person's small hobbies are more important than the other person's big goals and feelings. That's not how a healthy relationship should work. Epictetus said that because we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, we can listen twice as much as we speak. This is a fancy way of saying that it's really important to care about each other's problems and listen to them. It's about celebrating each other's successes and being there for each other through good times and bad. It's important to know when your partner is being selfish or not giving you enough emotional support. It's about valuing yourself and your emotional health. Sometimes that means having a heart-to-heart to work things out, and other times it might mean making hard decisions about the relationship. Either way, it's about finding happiness and fulfillment in a relationship based on mutual care and respect. I'm busy right now. We all know how hard work can be. When you're born, 2. Man, you have a 9-to-5 job like everyone else, but you still make time for your family even though you're busy. This shows that your family is very important to you and that you make time to spend with them even when you have important things to do. Maintaining this balance between work and family duties is admirable and says a lot about how much you care about your family and how well you can set goals. Seneca, an old Stoic philosopher, once said that we are scared more often than we are hurt, and that we suffer more from our thoughts than from real life. This quote shows how important it is to keep things in perspective and keep going when things get tough. It tells us to think logically about situations and realize that our worries and views of problems often make them worse than they really are. But if your partner is consistently unavailable or missing in action, it makes you worry. When you shout at her, she says she's too busy or focused on work to talk. It's important to understand that when someone values a relationship, they make time for their partner first, no matter what else they have to do. Open communication and mutual respect are important parts of any healthy relationship, and it's important to talk about any problems or issues with understanding and empathy. Basically, finding a balance between work and personal life is important, but real interest and effort in relationships should never be ignored or compromised. Building strong relationships takes consistent work, communication, and a willingness to put each other's happiness and well-being first. Number 3, my ex used to do that. When you're in a relationship, it's generally not appropriate to think about past relationships. If your partner keeps bringing up their ex, you should be worried. This behavior can show up in many situations, like when you're shopping with her and she says, "My ex had great taste in clothes. He would have loved this outfit." These comments, while seemingly harmless, can make you feel inadequate and unsafe in your current relationship. It's important to realize that she comparing you to her ex-partners all the time is not good for building a healthy and trusting relationship. This situation fits with the Stoic idea of concentrating on what we can change, as explained by Big Toe. Use what you can to the fullest, and let the rest happen as it may. You can't help but think about ex-partners, and it's important to put your mental health first by talking to your partner about behaviors like constantly talking about ex-partners. May mean that your partner hasn't fully moved on, or is using the current relationship as a distraction from unresolved feelings. This can make you a rebound partner instead of someone they choose because they really want to connect with you. It's important to be aware of these patterns and not let yourself be used as a temporary emotional crutch. It might be time to reevaluate the relationship if your partner talks about their ex-partner a lot or just can't get over it. It's not good for your mental health or happiness to be in a bad position, and staying there can cause you unnecessary pain. It's important to have open and honest conversations about the relationship's rules and expectations, but if these talks don't lead to positive changes, you might want to think about moving on. Remember that putting your own needs first isn't selfish. It's an important part of keeping relationships healthy. 4. You're to blame, one very important red sign that many men. 4. When a woman consistently refuses to apologize or take responsibility for her actions, this behavior goes beyond simple oversight or occasional misunderstandings. It shows a deeper pattern of behavior that can have a big effect on the dynamics of the relationship. If you make a mistake, she expects you to admit it and ask for forgiveness no matter how small the issue may be. When she does something wrong, however, she mysteriously puts the blame on you and absolves herself of any wrongdoing. Instead of admitting faults and working toward a solution together, she shifts the blame onto you, creating an unhealthy and unbalanced relationship. As the wise Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it." Classical advice stresses how important it is to look inside yourself and take responsibility for your actions when dealing with life's problems, including those that happen in relationships. Healthy relationships depend on open communication, mutual respect, and shared responsibility. Both partners must be willing to own up to their mistakes, say sorry, and work together to find solutions and grow. If one partner ignores or downplays her own mistakes while emphasizing yours, she not only destroys trust and respect, but also starts a harmful cycle of blame and resentment. It's important to be aware of this danger sign and deal with it in a mature and clear way. To keep in mind that relationships are based on mutual responsibility and understanding, and while forgiveness and appreciation are important, they must be given and received by both partners. If she refuses to admit her mistakes or work toward better communication and conflict resolution, it could be a sign of deeper issues with her maturity and emotional intelligence. So it's important to check on her overall health and well-being. Finding a partner who values responsibility, empathy, and mutual respect should be your top priority. These are the traits that make a relationship last and mean something. The fifth journey shows the fifth flaws. Communication that is open and helpful is an important part of a healthy relationship. Your partner should not only listen to your thoughts and feelings, but also give you feedback that helps you grow as a person. Instead of always pointing out your flaws or shortcomings, they should inspire and motivate you to become the best version of yourself. This builds trust and mutual respect, making the relationship more supportive. It might be time to reevaluate the dynamics of the relationship if these important parts are being harmed by negativity or constant criticism. Recognizing warning signs in a relationship is to have a good and fulfilling relationship. When you're with your partner, it should be a place where you can both feel supported and safe. Beyond just being there for you, it means supporting your growth and making sure you feel valued and sure of your own self-worth. As the wise Stoic philosopher Seneca said, building a strong foundation on love and positivity is not only good for the relationship, it's necessary for it to grow and change in a good way over time. This timeless quote says it all. Wherever there is a person, there is an opportunity for kindness. It's important to build relationships based on empathy, support, and kindness, and to choose to be around people who make you feel good and help you grow. In line with the Stoic, concept of focusing on good deeds and meaningful connections, putting your emotional health and personal growth first, will lead to a satisfying and enriching relationship. Journey number 6. I have no one else. It's common for women to rely on their partners for emotional support, often using a phrase that's become overused. However, it's important to be clear about your role in the relationship. You are her partner and equal, not her therapist or problem solver. It's not your job to diagnose or treat her mental health problems or solve all of her problems. It's important to know what your job is. If she seems stressed out or helpless, that doesn't mean you should step in and help her. As a savior, when you play this role, you may unintentionally make her more dependent on you, which could lead to an unhealthy situation where she relies too much on you for emotional stability. What she really needs is the help and advice of a professional psychiatrist or counselor who can provide individualized mental health support. This expert help goes above and beyond what you as a partner can provide and makes sure she gets complete care for her health. If you don't recognize and respect these boundaries, it can cause tension and anger in the relationship. Over time, being the fixer all the time can be hard on your mental and emotional health, making you feel inadequate or angry. Epictetus, a famous Stoic philosopher, said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This quote reminds us of how important it is to be self-aware and set realistic goals. By knowing your limits and focusing on your own health, you can create a healthier dynamic in the relationship. This could even mean having open and honest conversations about getting professional help and supporting each other. Number 7. Finding out that your partner has been cheating on you is definitely a serious matter. Betrayal is one of the most heartbreaking things that can happen in a relationship because it breaks down trust, which is what keeps any meaningful connection between two people going. When this happens, it not only breaks the romantic bond, but also the mutual respect and understanding that should exist between partners. As the philosopher Seneca said, a lack of trust is the first step toward disintegration. After cheating, people often feel a lot of different feelings, from shock and disbelief to anger and sadness. It makes them question what they thought about the relationship and makes them reevaluate values and commitments that seemed unbreakable at first. May feel bad about themselves and wonder what they could have done differently to keep the trust from being broken. In these situations, it's important to put your own mental health and self-respect first. Even if the cheating partner tries to lessen how bad their actions were by saying it was just a one-time thing, it is important to realize how bad the situation really is. Once trust is broken, it's hard to get it back, and promises made over and over again may not ring true after a betrayal. Also, cheating spreads to other people. Beyond just being physically involved with someone, it shows a complete lack of respect for the emotional integrity of the relationship. It casts doubt and fear on the love and friendship that have been built up over time. If you decide to end a relationship that has been tainted by cheating, it's not a sign of weakness. It's a brave act that shows you value honesty, integrity, and making real connections based on mutual trust and respect. As hard as it may be to say goodbye, staying in a relationship that has been tainted by cheating only makes the emotional turmoil last longer and keeps both people from finding true fulfillment and happiness. 8. Being too sensitive. Oh, you are too sensitive, 8th number. Although this comment seems harmless, it can mean a lot when aimed at your partner. In a relationship, it's not just about being sensitive, it's also about respect and empathy. It's disappointing when your partner finds fun in making fun of your mistakes or treating your deepest losses as unimportant. When you finally get the courage to talk about these hurtful actions, you don't get understanding or an apology. Someone makes fun of your sensitivity and ignores you. People often say that you should be able to handle criticism or teasing with mental toughness. But there's a thin line between harmless banter and hurtful behavior, especially when it comes from your partner, who should be there for you and understand. As the famous Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it." It's a red flag when your partner not only doesn't recognize your valid feelings but also uses them against you. This is also true in relationships. Insults that are meant to be funny or comparisons to other people's wins will only make you feel bad about your own worth. It's important to Know when these kinds of interactions become harmful to your health. For personal growth and happiness, it's important to be around people who make you feel good and help you grow. Respect, empathy, and kindness should be expected from your partner, and it's important to set limits when they don't come through. Relationships should be supportive and positive, not a constant fight to show how strong you are against hurtful behavior. Number 9. This is number 9. In many relationships, women are in charge of their male partner's schedules. They might ask about plans or spending time with friends, which is fine, and shows a healthy relationship where partners support each other's social lives. But if this care turns into controlling behavior, it becomes a problem. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, once said that freedom is the only worthwhile goal in life. This quote stresses how important it is to keep your own freedom and not give in to unwanted pressure in relationships. It's a red flag if your partner starts to demand obedience or asks you to give up your hobbies and time with friends. It's okay for her to have preferences about your friends, but limiting your time with them is worrying. If she gives you ultimatums saying you have to choose between her and your friends, it's time to think about ending the relationship. Remember that your happiness and freedom are paramount, and giving them up for someone else's control is not healthy. Epictetus taught us to put our own freedom and health above all else. Good communication is key for dealing with problems like these in relationships. Talking about needs, limits, and standards in an open and honest way can help people understand and respect each other in healthy relationships. Find a mix between their own interests and activities they do with others. It's important to spot warning signs like ultimatums that force a choice between a partner and social circles so that both partners can keep in touch with friends and follow personal interests without feeling stifled or controlled. Epictetus's wise words tell us that giving up our own happiness and freedom for a relationship is not worth it. The status quo can't last. In relationships, true happiness comes from mutual support, respect for individual autonomy, and the freedom to pursue personal interests and connections outside of the relationship. Ultimately, if a relationship becomes suffocating or stops personal growth and fulfillment, it may be time to reevaluate priorities and make decisions that put overall well-being first. Epictetus's teachings still speak to people today, urging them to seek balance between personal freedom and deep ties in relationships. Number 10. You are 10. Being accused of cheating can really hurt a relationship and lead to mistrust and bad feelings if it's not handled properly. It's very important to be understanding and kind in these situations while also standing up for yourself and what you believe is right in a healthy relationship. Being trusted is what makes everyone feel safe and important. But when trust is weak because of doubts and suspicions, it can make everything feel unstable. If someone accuses you of cheating without any real proof, it's important to try to figure out why they feel that way. Some people feel jealous and suspicious because of bad experiences in the past, insecurities, or just not talking openly. It's important to talk about these feelings honestly and without blaming each other so you can understand where the other person is coming from and work through it together. As the saying goes, trust yourself and others will trust you. That means staying true to your values and beliefs even when things get tough, but it's also important to set goals. Good talk to you, taking care of each other and having troubles. It might be time to get outside help or rethink the relationship if the accusations keep coming even after you've tried to talk things out. In the end, false accusations of cheating can hurt both people in a relationship. By building trust, talking openly, and respecting each other, couples can get through hard times and come out stronger. As the saying goes, trusting each other makes you stronger. Important lessons needed to build a good relationship. Having a happy and fulfilling relationship with a woman depends on a few important, non-negotiable factors. It's important to look into these factors to make sure both partners understand each other and build a strong base. Women, like everyone else, are deeply affected by their feelings, which often determine how they act and what they choose to do. However, this emotional depth shouldn't make people forget how important it is to be logical and consistent in their relationships. First and foremost, keeping a sense of mutual respect is top priority. Respect means treating each other with respect, empathy, and care, even when you disagree or face a challenge. Respect is the foundation on which trust, appreciation, and a real connection are built within the relationship. Also, good communication is key to understanding and resolving conflicts. Partners can say what they think, feel, and need when they can talk to each other openly and honestly. Clearly making a space where being vulnerable and close can happen, along with respect and communication, it requires active listening, empathy, and a desire to see things from the other person's point of view without judging or defending them. Sharing values and goals is a big part of a happy relationship, but having different opinions can also be beneficial. Agreeing on basic values like honesty, loyalty, and commitment makes the bond stronger between partners. It gives them a sense of unity and purpose, encouraging them to work together and support each other through life's challenges and celebrate their successes together. Trust is also an important part of a healthy relationship. Honesty, dependability, and stability in words and actions are what build trust. It means keeping promises, being reliable, and following the rules. Trust is what makes people feel safe and secure, and it lets them be honest and open without worrying about being betrayed or judged. It's also important to support each other's personal goals and encourage personal growth and self-care within the partnership. Hobbies and ways to take care of yourself encourages self-expression, self-improvement, and exploring one's own life, leading to a balanced and happy life as an individual and as a pair. Celebrates each other's unique traits, which makes the bond stronger. On the other hand, avoiding warning signs or putting up with bad behavior can hurt the relationship's health and happiness. It's important to deal with problems like manipulation, disrespect, or lack of understanding right away, and if you need to, get professional help. Set healthy limits. Self-respect and a dedication to emotional health are essential for building a long-lasting and satisfying relationship. To have a happy and fulfilling relationship with a woman, you need to do a lot of different things. You need to respect her, talk to her, and share your ideas. Believe in each person's growth and mental health by taking care of these areas with love and attention. Partners can build a strong and lasting connection based on love, support, understanding, and a shared vision for the future. The journey to building and maintaining a healthy relationship is an ongoing one that requires constant effort, understanding, and adaptability as partners go through life's challenges together, growing closer and stronger with each shared experience. Thank you for joining me on this journey to learn more about women's thoughts and actions. Thank you for coming to this discussion about a subject that is both interesting and necessary for improving our family ties. It's my hope that the information and ideas we talked about today have made you think and given you useful insights that can improve how you deal with the women in your life if you related to and found value in them. Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below this video. Your feedback not only builds community, but it also helps us make future content that speaks to your specific interests and concerns. Also, don't forget to check out the videos that come after this one, linked to in the end screen. These resources give you more in-depth and nuanced talks on related topics, giving you a full picture of all the different aspects of relationships and how people interact with each other. Thanks for taking the time to read this and give it your full attention. I can't wait for our next trip together to be full of interesting conversations and growth for both of us until we meet again. Be careful to go into relationships with an open mind and care for them with kindness and understanding. This will help you make real connections and keep exploring.